The Canadian weather is beautiful for this fifth round of Peace PlayStation F3 PSGL. I'm your host, Otaku Logan, and joined beside me is the very soaking T-Dub. Lovely weather, isn't it, sir?
Good weather for ducks or sailors, I think is the best way to
I,
sum it
I
up.
identify as duck.
Oh, let's not go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, very, very wet. We've seen it a lot of times before in real life in Canada, so people should be maybe a little bit more used to it than around certain other places. But yeah, track that I personally really love, had some amazing races in the past, and hopefully this is more of the same.
Yes, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, of course, was known for that washout in 2011, where Button came from absolutely nowhere and won the race. I think it was a lap
Best race
down.
of all time. Best race of all time.
Agreed, and especially with Vettel going off at the last corner, it was good karma. This was before he went to Ferrari, and I became over obsessed about him. Anyway, enough about my personal opinions on Formula One drivers, and enough more of having these drivers out here. Of course, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, you all know what it is. It is a circuit on a man-made island. I believe it's the Ile Notre Dame.
Yes, it is beautiful location as well. It's a very strange track if you look at everything else, but with that
Street
picturesque
track.
location in the background, you've got the sea that you can see as you go down the back straight. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's actually a street track, technically. I think parts of this course you can get to the Montreal Casino from. And of course, this hosted the rowing in the 1976 Olympics. Of course, the failed 1976 Olympics, I'd say, because I think they still owe money to the IOC, if I remember correctly. Not the IOC, but like anyone who like paid for funding for the games. Of course, it is a massive endeavour to undertake, but I think London got out of it okay, not to brag. And Paris probably should too, considering, Paris really want to host the Olympics, and I can't wait for this year. Anyway, Taicho's about to start a lap. Oh dear, nearly loses it out of the wall of chumps. I mean, champions. Wall of chumps. There are no chumps here, they're just warriors and gladiators raring to go, including Taicho here. Let's go down the road of absences. We do have a few, unfortunately. Raphael ain't home. Fraser and Giovanni have exams. Stay in school, kids. And Nardo cannot make it either. But there's still 19 drivers here tonight. Got Angelo, who won last week. Brando, who has won already this season. Lifeboat is the only two-time winner, but we are four races in. It is early days. Actually, no, Giovanni is here. So why is he in the absence, Fred? That's weird. Well, there we go then. He's on a lap right now. But we should be doing multiple laps here, considering that we are on wet tyres and they last much longer than softs.
Just want to get that rhythm going, don't you, in the rain, especially
Yes, you
because it
do.
can be a little bit treacherous.
It can be.
I
And
do just
oh
want to talk
dear,
about I just want to talk about the standings actually. Oh, but that's Yasuo Saki. I wonder if
Sakira
that's
is
in the
crashed.
pits.
It's not in the pits.
Oh,
And Taicho's absolutely lost it. You can see, well, it's gone now. I believe Sakir crashed at the Wall of Champions, so that is it for his session. Taicho will set the bar 123.473. I'm sure that will dip down soon as cars try and get round out of the way. It's going to be very treacherous, that final corner, especially with the rain as cars keep crossing the line. Giovanni goes to the top, nearly 3 seconds ahead of Taicho. I should expect that to fall down even further too. We've got who have we got, T-Dub? I can't really see much. There's too much to talk about.
yeah, a lot of drivers out on laps. I've seen quite a few invalidated lap times though. Caracelli was one of those. Brando just in the middle sector as well. Championship leader. Only one of two drivers, as I might have put the commentator's curse on the Ferraris. I've just seen him with an invalidated lap. But yeah, Brando, along with Sem, only drivers to have scored in every race so far.
Yes, it's been quite the unusual season. Then again, it's always unusual here in PSGL. Expect the unexpected with our sport. Much better than Formula One, considering what's going on. I do believe, is that a new driver we see? Is Ale Marciano replacing Sasha? Unfortunately, I believe Sasha is not competing anymore, if I can see. That's what it says in the announcements. So it's sad to see him go, but Sem gets to the top there as off screen. Sorry to show that, but here is Alan Marciano, a new driver. I believe there's also a new full-time driver as well. No, not Nardo. He's already been full-time. I think that's it, actually. But you've got the likes of Lorenzino and Caracelli, who is crossing the line now, and he goes to the top at 1:22.48.
Yeah, positive start. Puts a decent whack of time between himself and the rest of the field. Angelo slots into that gap between the Mercedes and the Alpine, as does Coolman in the McLaren. Picked up the first points for the McLaren team last time out. First lap of the season for Al Mecanio. He's only 10th and last at the moment.
A few couple drivers invalidating: Longino, Brando, Jeslar, Azam as well. Ian's still on a lap, and I think he's not backing out of it. I think he's going on the wet side of the track to keep the grip up as he goes speeding past the McLarens, which will be changing a bit of colour in the next season, which will be releasing, I believe, at the end of May. Is that correct?
Exciting times with the new game. Just
not good enough.
Around the corner.
Should be not good enough. It should be the first day of the season. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what Codemaster says. No disrespect to them. But I would love to see it released on the first day. It would just make it so accurate. And then you could have F1 Esports at the same time as the season. But that would be, I hate to say it, a long way to go. But of course, you've got the livery designs, got the physics designs, etc. It takes a long time, but I'm sure we have some patience in us to, wait it out and see what we can get flowing. But anyway, Caracelli not faster. I think he actually backed out of that lap. I think he's going to be going again. Angelo, is he not improving? No, he's not. Sem is improving, though, definitely.
Got to pick up on the championship leader, Brando, though. This is attempt number 3 at trying to get a fast lap in. Invalidated twice so far, with no time on the board, currently 18th. You'd expect Brando to be towards the sharp end. Yellow flag in the first sector, but I think that is for a Red Bull getting out of the way. Brando is fastest in the middle sector, though.
He is. I'm not sure if it's going to rain in the race, but it feels like they're not wearing wet setups. I think it might be a dry setups, in all honesty. That's just me, but they do look like they really are struggling, especially the big guns. Brando especially, it looks like he was tiptoeing around those few corners in Sector 2, which he's coming to the Wall of Champions now. He's got out clean, and he's going to cross the line, and he sets the fastest time, 1:19.683. That's more like it, as his teammates coming round the hairpin. Who have you got on your radar, T-Dub?
Well, I'm watching Caracelli, who was invalidated on that lap that you're talking about. I just wanted to pick up on the fact, though, that Lifebout and Nico both have stayed in the pits. We've seen that big improvement for Brando. I think the track is definitely drying, but we could be seeing some slick tie runs towards the end of the session, maybe, because I would say the rain has subsided just a little bit.
Azam goes to second, now ahead of his teammate, and Caracelli in third. But now splitting the difference, it's Angelo. Now it's a Ferrari, Mercedes. It's kind of like Noah's Ark on either side, 2 by 2 on either side of the grid. You got on the pole positions on the left, right? On the left with the driver's left, isn't it? Sure, it is. In this track.
It's just been disturbed, though, because we had it behind with the McLarens and Alpines. Enzo flying up into second place, had no battery left over the line, so he was giving absolutely everything. The fourth driver into the 1:19, still 0.2 of a second over behind Brando.
Exciting times, 3 thousandths the difference. Fine margins, as they say. Jesler, is he going on another lap? He looks fast. He is. He's coming out to the Wall of Champions, and he's just about clean there. You can see it says Wall of Champions on the curb. That's quite interesting to note. He's on P5, 4 attempts up from previous. Sem is also coming through to start another lap. You can tell because he's coming too high up to go down. Taicho is coming in. Zane's invalidated. Alamarciano is needing to improve. He's 1.5 seconds down. Our new driver on the block. It can kind of make great work with this Red Bull, this award-winning Red Bull, we could say at the very least. You know what the Red Bull is, guys. So he comes through the final corner. There should be an improvement. He has to improve by much, much more than needed, though. It is a P6. There we go. Much more like it from Alamarciano, new driver on the grid. And we've also got Lorenzino, who's yet to set a lap.
Yeah, not a bad time from the Red Bull. Just picked up Coolman through the first sector. Was 3.5 tenths up, but invalidating. So the driver in 8th place is going to have to wait it out and go again. This has been much more positive for the McLaren team, like it was last week, 8th and 9th. Started the season with a lot of DNF, no points on the board. Lorenzino smashes the time out in front there, half a second between himself and Brando. This track continuing to dry and get grippier.
Trying to make the most of Alfa Romeo's swan song, we have to rely. We have to repair. Sorry, I'm having some horrible. Oh dear, he nearly lost it. And Brando goes to the top. Back. We have to refer to them as Sauber now, but this is the last time in this last series you will see them as Alfa Romeo before they become Kick Sauber. I have to say just Kick Sauber. That's it. I cannot mention the actual sponsor, actual title sponsor for. Let's just say legal reasons.
Moving on from that, do you think we're going to see slick tyres by the end of the session? I don't think so. We're still seeing it spitting in the first couple of sectors. We are seeing big improvements from the drivers, though, into the 18s with Brando. We're in the 21s only 5 minutes ago, maybe. Lorenzino and Sem sat very close together. Who is going to be the next driver to make a big improvement? We've got Coolman, who will be going again. He's currently 6.5 tenths up through the first sector.
They're on inters, so 6 minutes. Is that how much longer left? I'm not sure if we're actually going to see more. To be fair, because as you said, it's still spitting. And how long does this track take to dry up? 5-10 minutes. So I'd imagine no would be the answer unless you're one heck of a daredevil and have Evel Knievel dreams. You want to get out there and set a lap, but on the softs, but I honestly do not see this happening.
Coolman's flying, though. Another big improvement in the middle sector. This could be challenging the very sharp end as the McLaren negotiates the final chicane past the Wall of Champions. Hopefully we see a big improvement from Coolman up to the line. It is the fastest time by 4 tenths.
4 tenths, a statement from Coolman. I think we're going to see a very mixed bag of a grid come the end of the session. Please, 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 drivers, don't stay so close to each other. Don't stand so close to me, the police said, because, you might get a 5-second penalty and we'll have to do this all over again.
Wonder what the second McLaren of Kaya can do, though. Teammate currently first. Add another 1 onto that and you get Kaya's position coming down the back straight. Haven't been able to see what the delta time is. Going to pick up a nice slipstream made from the AlphaTauri, though, as we come up towards the Wall of Champions chicane. And we could be seeing 2 McLarens. Well, I've put the absolute commentator's curse because Kaya has invalidated through that chicane.
Yikes. Kaya needs to improve. He's 2 seconds down on pole. Big improvement is needed from all the drivers in the 120s. Otherwise, they're going to be very low down
as well.
Massive. Oh, that's very sad. As the 2 Williams making ground, they're going nearly into the 19s. The 18s is Taicho. But they are into the 19s now. I believe Ian's on a lap. He got a 5-second penalty last time, and he got involved in a big crash at the Austrian Grand Prix. I do not believe any penalties are to be dished out for this race. Double check that if you can, Logie there.
While you do that, we are still seeing some big names struggling. Angelo and Caracelli invalidating on their most recent runs. The Mercedes returning to the pits. Angelo going again in that second Ferrari. We'll be hoping to find a decent chunk of time on this lap time. Only 4 minutes to go, though. Will people come into the pits for another set of tyres, or will this be it until the end of the session? Zane jumping up into second for Red Bull, just 0.08 of a second behind the lead McLaren.
Yes, just to mention, we do have a penalty for this race. It's Caracelli for a crash alongside Jeslar and Sem. Caracelli is to serve a 5-second time penalty this race. Wherever he finishes, 5 seconds will be added onto his total time. As Enzo, the poor man, scratched that. It's Ewan. Enzo got the fastest time, but he only had it for about 0.8 seconds as Ewan gets to the top. A 1:18.102 for the ET8 Talisman in the Haas, and now it's on. It's going to be a real mixed bag, but it's about who is going to come out at the right time and at the right lap time. No, it's not going to be Zayn. He's come in and he's going to have one more chance, I believe. Sem is out there and trying to improve on his lap. It's getting much drier, but it's definitely not dry compounds for sure. Who do we have coming down the line? Is that Lorenzinho? Yes, Lorenzinho trying to start a lap. Sorry if I am flashing across the screen. It's a lot of hard work. Giovanno's coming across the line. He had the pole earlier, I think. He definitely has it now. Look at that. Time's really coming down now, T-Dub.
This is going to be last over the line. Is probably going to get pole position if you get your lap in properly. The Red Bull of Ale Marciano are going to come over the line. What will this be? Jumps up into second, 17.9.
And he's going to have to do another lap. Ewan's coming in. Lifeboat is starting his lap. We've also got Brando, who is coming through, starting his lap. Coming across the line now. Who is coming across the line now? Is that Alpine of Jeslar? Jeslar coming across the line for the Alpine, and he puts it onto second, 300ths and change down on the lap as Enzo is starting another lap and coming across the line. That's Sem! Sem goes to the top. I don't know why I'm getting so excited.
These times are going to keep tumbling. Brando's 1.2 seconds up through the first couple of sectors as well. So the championship leader could reclaim top spot, although hasn't been on pole for the last couple of races. We're waiting to see what Enzo can do. Will the top four get another go, or will it be the rest that will come and take their pole position away from them? We'll have to wait and see.
And whoa, that's a spin there for... Wait, what is Nico doing? I have absolutely no idea what he's just done as Brando goes to the top with 1:17.284. Sorry. Brando, the championship leader, now ahead, and Ewan has retired from the session. Where is that? That is... Oh, it's in the pits. Okay, I thought there was a yellow flag down there, and I think that's Coleman trying to slow down. He's got to be careful not to inflict a 5-second penalty. Nico has come out to start a lap, but I don't think he's going to make it in time. He needs to absolutely put that foot on the floor. It's a 1:17.28 to beat, and there's cars that need to move out of the way because here comes Sem, and Gianfranco Enzo goes to the top. I can't keep track of who's on pole here.
It's very difficult indeed. Angelo over the line to start a flying lap. Caracelli was in a bit of trouble. Fourth. Got blocked by the Alpines going through the hairpin. Does manage to get a fairly representative time and jumping up into fourth, but would have to go again because you would imagine the Mercedes is going to get pushed all the way down, probably outside of the top 10.
14 seconds. Is Nico going to make it? He's not going to make it. He is not going to make it. He's not going to set a lap in time.
Angelo spun. Angelo's made a mistake, invalidated in the first sector, so it'll be 15th at best for last week's race winner as Azim smashes the time at top and Brando can only go second fastest.
Brando cannot make it. Lifeboat comes across the line. He's only 11th. Disappointing from the two-time winner this year. Nico is not going to make it to the line. He will have no time. He will start at second last on the 9th row, the penultimate row, as the only driver on the last row will be Nico. How about Ale Marciano? Is this going to be a surprise pole position for the newcomer? No, it's not. It is third, though. It is third. Who's coming across the line now? Is that Jeslar? No, it's not. It's Taicho. He finishes 10th in this session for now. Coleman. Sorry if I'm flashing a lot. That's Kaya coming across the line. He's improving, but not going to be improving by enough. Oh, he's only second. I didn't think he'd improve by that much. Who's that coming across the line? It's Caracelli. He's not improved. Anyone else? Jeslar's crossed the line. Azim trying to extend his pole position time. Who is across the line now? That's Tiago. Who else? Coleman.
Coleman. Big improvements from the McLaren so far. Will this be pole? No, only second. No, third, sorry.
Third only for the McLaren. And Lorenzinho goes fourth. Here comes Angelo. Is he going to... No, he's not. He's too slow. He's too slow, and I think Brando is not saying a lap. And that's it. Azim has got pole position ahead of Kaya, ahead of Coleman in a very, very exciting qualifying session that nobody could have predicted the entire grid for. And I do not believe we have any 5-place grid penalties, so I think we're going to be going straight away.
Excellent. The grid, much more spread out than it has been in the past few weeks. Asm getting onto pole position. Has got to convert it, though, because in the 3 races that Asm has contested, 12th, 11th and 12th, again, yet to score any points for a driver that's been very quick so far this season. The 2 McLarens, brilliant improvement from them after the first couple of rounds. Then the 2 Alpines ahead of the Sauber and Lorenzino. Brand will be disappointed down in 7th, as will his Ferrari teammate. Debutant Ali Marciano inside the top 10 there in 8th, ahead of Enzo. And Tiago rounding us off.
Evil says, I'm a bum. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know. Very cool. So, yeah, no penalties. We're going to go straight into the race. The gaps do look big, yes, but remember, it is a wet session. So it's more representative to dry Formula 1 times.
Absolutely, and the skill gap usually widens in the rain. That's why we love it so much, although in F1 in real life it can make a little bit more boring. Remember, in this little interlude we've got, check out our main sponsors, GTA, using code PSGL at checkout for 5% off. Do you want to tell them about SRC?
Yeah, Sim Racing Centre, where you can actually get lessons from Brendan Lee, of all people. How to do a big dive bomb from Brendan Lee. How to win championships like Brendan Lee. How about... well, anything you want, but you can get setups, you can get tips, you can get setup tips, of course. That's just me combining the two, but you should know what SRC is. If not, check them. You can get 10% off your next order with the code PSGL, as we're just waiting for everyone to get started. Yes, the lead provider of all things F1 23 and 24. Yes, we're doing F1 24 that early, Sim Racing Centre are. You get one-on coaching, strategy advice, and as I mentioned, you can get up with Brendan Lee, and fantastic engineering too. You know, I have too many. Yes, indeed. You have too many. Sorry, I botched that up. I've got too many things to read on this, and I still yet to get a chief to take a chair.
Returning to the racing action, though, the weather very different to what we saw a few moments ago.
Yes, we've magically told the rain go away and come again some other day, and it actually listened. Thank you, Mother Nature. So we've got 19 cars on the grid. A reminder, it is Asm on pole with Kaya and Coleman in 2nd and 3rd. At the back, you've got the likes of Nico and Yasser Saki, who didn't set a lap. Yeah, Nico didn't either. He was too far away from the finish line. So, yes, I actually think he missed. I saw him botch the pit exit too, so that's unfortunate. Seeing it with no.
Lifeboat and Angelo also out of position. Lifeboat won twice this season, but in the other 2 races failed to score.
Indeed.
Angelo as well towards the back, making a mess of that final run. Another driver that has finished 2nd and 1st, but has also picked up a 15th and a 12th. Consistency seeming to be key at the moment. Brando with a 5-point lead in the championship has scored in every single race with a win, a 2nd, and then a couple of 7th places. We're hoping to repeat something like that.
And here are the 5 lights ahead of the drivers, and all lights out and away we go, and here we are. It's Asm gets ahead and stays ahead of the 2 chasing McLarens. Heading into the first corner, the 2 Alpines are coming to prey on to the McLarens. Here's Coleman and Sem battling for podium position, and also battling is Gisler and Lorenzino. Somehow, the 2 McLarens are staying 2nd and 3rd, but not for long. Sem gets back through and into 3rd place. Lots of battling happening back. That's involving Brando, who's championship leader, Tiago, and the new boy, Ali Marciano. Further back, that's Nico trying to get up positions after that horrendous qualifying session. And there's a collision between Taicho and Yasser Saki already. And that leaves Taicho spun, and Angelo and Yasser Saki scrapping at the back. And I believe that's damage on Yasser Saki's car already as Ewan goes across the chicane, cutting it, and will have to give up those positions as it's 4 wide. My goodness, giving it everything they've got. And 3 wide into the corner, and that's extremely dangerous. And they're still 3 wide into the corner. Come on, give me a better angle than this.
Crazy stuff, battling all the way through the field. Great start for Lorenzino, making the most of those soft compound tyres. Coolman losing a couple of places down into P5. Jeslar as well, dropping behind the AlphaTauri of Enzo.
Much battling happening further back. It's Giovanni into the pits, and I expect... is it? No, I think Yasser Saki's actually staying out. I thought he had damage there, but apparently not. It was Angelo that had damage. He's in the pits as well. Horrible start for last week's winner. He's already in the pits on lap 1. Apologies for the epileptic flashing as we go to the top once again. It's Azam ahead of Kyer, ahead of Sam, ahead of Lawrencinho, Coleman, Enzo, Jeslo, and Brando running up the top 8. As Coleman and Enzo scrap for 5th position, and it is Coleman that gets ahead. And now Enzo's under fire from Jeslo. Sorry, no, he is not under fire from Jeslo. He's trying to get back through, but he can't seem to get back through. He's just sticking with the toe as he comes through, try and make a move before the hairpin Lepingo, where all the fans are, as they fight for 3rd place as well. It's Lawrencinho and Sem, and then Lawrencinho, who does get through. I should turn on the tyre positions. You see massive mixture. We've got soft, medium, and hard represented everywhere. Almost an equal amount as well. 6 drivers on soft, 5 drivers on medium, and 8 drivers on hards.
The hards, though, not looking particularly good at this stage. Caracelli has just beautifully moved around the outside of Brando through the turn 10 hairpin. Is now going to set his sights on 7th place. Jeslar also on the hard compound tyres. Down the inside into turn 1, nice and late on the brakes. Corner cuts a little bit there. Might have been a warning, but it is up to 7th for Caracelli after a slightly underwhelming qualifying session.
The top 2 have already broken away. They're 2 seconds ahead of Lawrencinho. Caracelli making the most of these medium tyres, overtaking the hard runners one by one. And now Enzo's going to have a look up the inside of Sem, who's also on the harder compound, but he makes a mistake and he spun around. He's in the wall, and that is a disappointment for Enzo. He's lost his wing, and it's a virtual safety car for damage on track.
Coolman was caught up in it as well. Innocent bystander, front wing gone for the McLaren, ran into the AlphaTauri, who didn't ghost in time. So that is one McLaren that will be returning to the pits. Those hard tyres are going to have to be replaced.
I don't know what happened there. He's struggling to get away. And Enzo now is down in 16th, and all that hard work is all gone to waste. And last week's pole sitter, I believe, correct me if I was wrong, is now in deep trouble. He has to get a replacement wing, and I don't think he's going to make it to the pits in time for the virtual safety car coming to a close. This is good news for the others behind, though. That means they gain 1 position. As you can see, everyone just waiting to go ahead. Actually, I think, is that Coleman? Coleman's lost his front wing! Coleman has lost his front wing! I didn't see that. I think that was the collision with Enzo, and that is absolutely catastrophic. And we got drive-through penalties already! It's Ewan who gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, and that's the last thing he wanted. Enzo also coming in too, and that's a fight between Lifeboat and Zane, and I believe that's Alan Marciano ahead as well on the hard tyres.
Owen's actually got half a front wing missing, lost the end plate on the right side, I believe, so something's happened there for the second Haas driver. Penalty for his troubles as well, so not an ideal start. Number of drivers getting caught out under the safety car and with contact. Are you picking something up there?
Yeah, he's lost the other her front wing, and it's another virtual safety car for damage on track, so this is going absolutely horrible. Yeah, and he's having a horrible day already. It is Owen again. He's lost the other part of his front wing. He said half it gone, and now it's all completely gone, to add insult to injury. So it's a second virtual safety car in 2 laps, which I don't think is really going to benefit many people. So we're just going to keep on trundling along. 3.4 second gap between Kyer and Lawrencinho, I should mention. A massive gap already. I don't expect that to be lasting long, though, as we are going to get underway very soon.
Surprised that none of the soft runners decided to roll the dice maybe and come in under this VSC, put on maybe a set of medium tyres. You could go medium to the end here, try and get a bit of an undercut going while everyone scraps in the traffic. But only the drivers with damage coming in.
So I think you and I, he's got he's serving his... Has he already got a penalty? Oh, he's just getting his wing changed. But I do believe he has to serve his drive-through when it's not a virtual safety car. So it's already a horrendous start for Ewan, who's about to come out. Look at the top 2, though. They're about 6 tenths within each other. Kyer was just swarming around Azam before the corner, and we're underway again. Virtual safety car is ended, and it's back on. And now Lawrencinho has closed the gap on the top 2. It's now 1.6 seconds. I'm not sure if it was because they were slowing down, but there you go. That's the gap now. There's a scrap going on for, I believe, 9th place. All the cars in close proximity of each other. Further back, Ewan still has to serve his drive-through. The 2 AlphaTauris back, and Angelo, last week's winner, is in dead last.
Kaya seems to be one of the only drivers that's managed to get these hard tyres working early on in the race, able to stick to the back of the Mercedes of Azem pretty nicely indeed. Lorenzino, hopefully for him, those soft tyres will still have a little bit of life left in them and he can close up to the back of this leading pair.
Yeah, but different times call for desperate measures. These softs do not last long, so he needs to get close ASAP. Considering doing 35 laps, I'd say 10 laps is probably cutting it close as the drivers race on through the few corners without any runoff area, to be fair. That's why they do call it a street track. It does feel like a street track in places, somewhat like Melbourne. And in fact, actually, Abu Dhabi has something like that too. I know it's the fastest lap, but won't get anything for it. You don't get a point if you're outside the top 10, just as you're in the top 10. If nobody finishes in the top 10 getting the fastest lap, then nobody gets the fastest lap point. That's the rule. I think it's different in WOR. Sorry to mention, our rival is Caracelli nearly running at the back of Sem. I do believe they do give a point for the fastest driver in the top 10. But look at this. Look at this, T-Dub. Is that clouds gathering I see?
It does look very, very overcast. Maybe we are going to see some rain. That could explain why we saw some mixing of the tyre compounds, because people were uncertain as to whether the rain was going to arrive. Caracelli, as we spoke about a moment ago, has been the driver on the move so far, picked up 6 places from his starting spot very close to the back of Sem into turns 1 and 2. And Nico made a mess of qualifying, up 9 places as well, now nestled nicely inside that top 10.
Yes, indeed. Big, big movers here and big, big losers too. So it's a complete contrast. This race, we did say, was going to be unpredictable, just like the quality session, and it has proven to be correct, as Caracelli now is building up for a move that is getting very dark in here. I wouldn't be surprised to see any drops of rain in the next few minutes, as Caracelli teases a move on Sem, heading into the next corner, but he won't be getting it, so he'll have to wait his turn again. That's coming through 8 and 9, up to 10 now, and he's going to execute the move here. Turn number 10, Lipingle in the inside. Is there a reply from Sem? Yes, there is. He's not letting this go easily. He's going to get the DRS when he gets out the corner, I believe. Is he? I believe so. Yes, they're both going to get the DRS, actually. What is the move going to be from Chem or Caracelli? Oh, whoa! He's pushed him. I think he pushed him there. Sem was right up close to Caracelli, and luckily they did not get any damage from that.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a touch. Thankfully, no wings flying off. I've been watching Kai, though, over the last lap. Close right up to the back of the race leader, Azem. Those hard tyres seeming to be pretty nice on that McLaren car. The balance working well. Maybe we'll be performing a little bit better than the mediums at this stage after 8 laps. Lorenzino is starting to drop away from that pair. Those soft tyres definitely going to be past their best and might tumble through the field now, with Caracelli continuing to look very racy behind.
Kaya building up to the move. With the rain coming, it could be a perfect storm for Kaya if it all plays out correctly, if he perfects this strategy. As Caracelli starting to get into the podium, but remember, he has a 5-second penalty.
It's raining.
Is that rain? I see. It is. It's starting to rain. Thank you, Mr. Weather Reporter T-Dub, as Caracelli and Lorenzino scrap for the podium spot. But he's going to watch behind. Sem's going to be there too as it starts to rain here. This could be quite good news for the soft tyre runners, I've got to say, because I think they've won out the most as they filter through the wall of champions, as Lifeboat is now in the top 10. As he loses the position, actually. There comes Zane. Here comes Ala Marciano as well. They're all fighting for a 9th position. Nico's actually coming to pits for Inters. He's going to be the guinea pig, as there's a touch on the rear of Lifeboat. Ali Marciano is going to say, "Get through! I want to get through! Go on, move!" He's probably saying in that cockpit as the spots of rain continue to fall down here once again. We just can't catch a break with the weather here this weekend. It just doesn't seem to be brightening up, as we could say. Well, it was brightening up for a while. As Sem is going to pass Lorenzino. I think Lorenzino's tyres may be dead.
Yeah, going to have to come into the pits very shortly, but I think Nico in the other side has gone way too early. Track's certainly not wet enough at this stage. We'll have to see how long it takes for the spray to start to form. Another lockup for Lorenzino into the turn 10 hairpin. Has got 3 drivers sat right behind the Sauber of Jesar, Brando and Thiago. Could be losing another few places in a matter of corners, and it could be one right now as the Alpine pulls out to the left-hand side. It could be 2 blue and pink cars passing the Sauber in the space of about half a lap. Straight around the outside we go, and that is 5th place for Jeslar.
Bad news, and he's also got on the grass as Lorenzino, and this puts him vulnerable.
Pass for the lead.
As Brando's going to get through, there's a pass for the lead. Azam has lost the lead. It's Kaya now in the lead. Sorry, we missed that. I was focused on Brando's move, actually. And Kaya is now in the lead. We're sorry we missed that. Meanwhile, Taicho has got through as Zayn is pit. Taicho's lost 2 seconds on that lap. I think we might have to come in as soon as possible. But Nico's actually lost 5 seconds. I'm not sure if that... I think he's actually just come out, so I can't really make that a representative lap, but I'm sure it'll be much, much better the next lap, as Zayn has also come out on softs.
That must be a mistake. Must be a mistake. Unless the rain's not going to come down hard enough. Nico is losing time to Tico in front. So, those inters certainly not working at this stage. Interestingly enough, the pack have all managed to catch back up to the leading pair. So that advantage has gone. Kai might be about to lose the lead that he just got a few corners ago. And then the other Mercedes is now cruising up to the back of them with the 2 Alpines completing that top 5.
What's going on here? They're playing a game of chicken here, it seems. Kaya's slowing down, and then Azam also slowing down. What is going on?
Lorenzino penalty, 3-second for corner cutting. Azam had a massive slide coming out of the wall of champions, was desperate to put the power down and maybe get that lead back. Start of lap number 11. Kaya still leads the way, but the conditions starting to deteriorate now, and maybe it is going to be time for the Inters in a couple of laps' time.
Tell you what the warning shot will be. It will be DRS disabled at the top of your screen. Keep a watch out for that as the pack are starting to build up together once again, all on 10-lap toll, mediums and hards. The softs are nowhere to be seen. They may have to pit ASAP. Lorenzino has a penalty, and so Lifeboat is 2 seconds behind Lorenzino, the offender. And now Azam is right behind again. Kaya nearly loses it. This opens the door for Azam. Coming down towards, but he's not going to make the move. Not yet. Strategy and mind games. He's waiting for the DRS. Yes, he is, and I think he's right to. If the DRS is still on, that is, it is going to be, and he's going to make the move. Kyer's not letting him have it, I think. Kyer's going to try everything to stay down the inside, but here's Caracelli as well. It's going to be freeway battle for the lead. But it's now he's lost 2 positions. Oh, and that hasn't gone wide.
Silver. Yeah, we're going to have a pass for the lead again. I think Caracelli was having a look up the inside, snapping at the heels of his teammate. The 2 silver arrows painted in black, of course, passing the McLaren. Kaya was really struggling in that final sector, trying to put the power down. This is a 6-car scrap for the lead of the race at the moment. The 2 drivers on mediums currently leading the way.
And it's still raining. Drizzling, I should say, actually. And Jeslar and Sem are in the fight too. Brando's there as well, as Al Marciano comes into the pits. And that means Zayn and Coleman will get ahead, as well as Nico and Enzo and Taicho, as there's a crash there. That's Ewan again, and he's spun at the wall of champions. So, thank goodness it's not going to be... it's looking much, much darker. And Caracelli, he needs to get through, because he's got a 5-second penalty to serve. You can't see it, because last week he got a penalty. I think this might be the setup for Caracelli. Oh, look how close they are together now as they come out of the corner. Azam gets a great getaway out of the hairpin at Lapingo, but now he's going to be under fire from Caracelli, but Caracelli's losing ground. This could be a chance for cars behind to catch up now, as Azam is nowhere near to be seen by Caracelli. Caracelli as... Whoa! What's going on? They're all coming into the pits, it seems. That's Azam, Sam and Brando.
I was about to say the rain has certainly got a lot heavier in the last 60 seconds or so. Both Mercedes were struggling to get the car through turn 10 and then get the car out of turn 10 as well. It is inters for the cars that come in. Sen comes out ahead of Brando. I'm not sure where Azam is. Lost a load of time. Was there a front wing change for Azam? Because he's dropped behind Brando and Sem.
Oh dear, either that or he's just got unlucky at the pits, but that means Azam is now down at 8. Yeah, he has come out behind Sem and Brando. So now Caracelli needs to be 5 seconds ahead. And this will be jackpot for him, Caracelli. Caracelli lost the win, I believe, because of penalties at Australia. Now, Angelo's got a penalty as well, and he's well down the order, so I don't know if it'll be much of a factor. As Brando and Sam almost at the same time coming out of the pits. Now, as Nico's now got a penalty, and he's down in 13th. Brando right behind Zane. DRS is still enabled, by the way, so do not count out fights for the lead yet. Caracelli and Kaya is now coming down the straight. I don't think Caracelli is going to be close enough for Kaya to execute a move. And they're both coming in. They're all coming in. So how has this helped? Is this going to do any help? But Zane is still out there. I have no idea why he's still there. Thiago in as well. So what is going to happen as Brando gets past him? That could be a crucial move coming out of the final chicane. As Taicho is now going to be pitting as well as the other front runners. And Brando and Sam are they ahead. Here comes Caracelli. No, he's behind. He's behind both. He's behind Brando and Sam. So it's now, but he has the fresher tires, so he does have the edge. So does Kaya and Jeslar as well. But Zane there being the spoiler, the rogue soft tire runner. Crazy bold strategy, but is it going to pay off? We'll have to find out. Probably not.
I mean, Zane's surely going to be at the end of this lap. Look at how wet it is. You can see the spray being chucked up. Azim, the big loser, dropping down into 7th. That will, of course, become 6th when the Red Bull peels off into the pits. Brando and Semmers Owens retired. I think that is in the pits, though. So
nothing can be done.
Safety car.
No, it won't be.
There.
Lifeboat's got a penalty
as well. There's been a disastrous race for Lifeboat. Got qualifying wrong. Now only 11th with a penalty and not really in this fight towards the front.
A horrible day for Haas as a whole. Lifeboat, the only two-time winner of the season, can't seem to get the anything running here tonight. As Enzo's past Angelo, the winners except Brando cannot get anything going here tonight. As Zane is going to peel into the pits at last. Whoa, a slide from Azam! Don't do that. You are the pole sitter. Of course, the pole sitter did crash out in Monaco. We do not want a repeat of that here. That may be commentator's curse, as there was a move from Lorzinho, very nicely done. Is the DRS still on?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen the message at the top of the screen, but Sem did get the lead off Brando pretty easily going down the back straight. So, yeah, potentially we've still got DRS. It is very wet now, though. I think we could be getting towards maybe the full wet tyres at some stage, because the spray certainly much more severe than it was a few months ago. There is the message at the top of the screen.
I was about to say, Angelo just got DRS, and he collided with with Enzo in the final corner, and he got DRS, so it was still on. But now it's not, so you're going to have to make these moves raw, and only raw, because there's no DRS, and it's all about who's got the better pace in the wet tyres, who's got the better wet setup, who is prepared to put it all on the line for the win tonight. And I'm sure Jeslar is one of those people. He's right behind Kaya. It's for 4th place as the leaders starting to get out of the spray and into the wall of champions they come. It is still Sam that leads, ahead of Brando and Caracelli, of Kaya and Jeslar. So you got Alpine's running very well in 1st and 5th. 3rd and 6th are in the Mercedes, but very contrasting emotions for both Ferraris. Of course, Angelo well down there, nowhere to be seen, as Zane and Taicho fighting for 13th, and Zane does get through. He is trying to make his way up, but he's 11 seconds behind Nico, and what happened there at Taicho, I do not know, but he is ahead now and going to try and make up them 11 seconds of Nico, but that Nico is out there for 7 laps, so, actually he's right behind him, as I should say, I just noticed, but 11 seconds ahead is, Yasser Saki, so it's going to be a long way to go for Zane.
Kaya could be coming under pressure any time now, because Jeslar is glued to the back of that McLaren, just under 0.3 of a second following, very close to
the
middle sector. Oh, we're going to see a move. Goes defensive, does the McLaren, but that doesn't put off the Alpine of going out the inside. Little bit of rubbing is racing as they make contact at the apex. They both end up pointing in the same direction still. Kaya with a massive wobble on the exit through turn number 11. But just slightly misjudged there from Jeslar.
Meanwhile, further up, his teammate is, and there's a spinner, that's Nico. Nico on, you saw intermediate compounds, has lost his entire wing, and he's going to have to come into the pits again.
Safety car.
Oh, it's a safety car. Well, this changes things up then. I didn't expect the safety car to come out. We had 2 virtual safety cars already. Oh, and Angelo's got a drive-through penalty. This can't get any worse for him. As Azin comes into the pits, the pole position in the qualifying is coming in already, and everyone coming in to get a quick change, take advantage of the safety car as much as they can, and it will be the safety car out. But yeah, oh, and another penalty, and it's Coleman, who's also had a horrible start, and it's getting worse for him. These drivers cannot catch a break. Going through the penalties, Enzo also has a drive-through penalty. Nobody can catch a break here, and that's going to be a new change. Coleman's on wets. Coleman is on wets.
Well, I did think it was getting wetter. You saw the spray was picking up, so that might be a tactical gamble maybe from the McLaren, predicting more rain in the next 5 minutes or so. We'll have to keep an eye on that to see how that goes, but probably won't be able to use the advantage if there is any because of that drive-through.
No, probably not at all. So he will have to come in again after the safety car comes in to serve his drive-through. So if he doesn't, of course, you get the big DQ, which means you are disqualified. You will not be taking any further part in this race. You will not be scoring any points. So we do have the safety car, and we're going to be taking a while here on PSGL, brought to you by GT Omega and Sim Racing Centre. Use the code PSGL to get a cool discount from both.
A lot of very, very appealing products you can get from GT Omega. And of course, like you said earlier, the courses, the setups, the strategy guys from Sim Racing Centre, both very appealing. 5% and 10% respectively, those codes are worth.
I suggested a sponsor, but I don't think they'd allow it. I kind of forgot it because I actually don't have a good joke to use as a sponsor.
That's a sticky one.
Trying to use some improv here, but you know I'm terrible at improv comedy.
I mean, we definitely need some of that. We need some training.
Coleman's coming in again. He must have made a mistake. He thinks he can serve a drive-through. Probably not. You can't serve a drive-through. I think he knows that anyway. Enzo is also in the pits. He's probably going to another set. Of course, you don't have to use both tyre compounds in a wet race. You don't at all. So that rule's out the window. It's all about who can have the best strategy in this wet setup. Sem's still leading. I tell you what, he's done a mighty job of keeping the lead. We don't really consider, in all due respect, we haven't really considered Sem as a leading contender. We are going to be doing another lap. We have to wait for all the cars to bunch up. And maybe, to be fair, I'm not sure, but that could have been a stalling tactic from the back runners. I'm not sure why, but they are going to have to, pile up and bunch up for the restart again, regardless. So it's not going to be much of a game changer in all honesty. What's going on here? No idea what happened there between Zane and Taicho. Trying to make moves. As Nico's coming in again. Is this a throwing in the towel? Because
I'm not sure.
I don't know why he's
through.
No, you don't serve a drive-through penalty. He doesn't have a 5-second penalty. I know that. And you can't serve those either, I believe.
Well, I mean, if Nico did have a drive-through penalty, I would have presumed that was a throw in the towel kind of thing, but just puts on another set of intermediate tyres.
Enzo's on wets as well. What? It doesn't look that bad, in all honesty. I don't think it's going to get that bad unless we're really, really, really sure. Enzo really... I'm not trying to accuse anything here, but he's really is doing his best to hit as lot as possible. That's his 5th stop, and we're just halfway through the race.
He might be doing the rainbow challenge with his tyres, trying to use all 5 different compound sets. That would be an interesting one to do. Enzo, of course, is very quick. 7th in the championship.
Safety car in this lap.
Safety car in this lap, though.
He'll make it to the end, though.
Got a lot of time to make up, though. Probably won't catch up. And if these wet tyres are not the compound you want to be on, that's probably going to be the end of the race.
Yeah, Enzo is going to catch up eventually.
My God.
What's
I've
happened?
just seen Sem doing about 10 miles an hour coming out of the hairpin.
I mean, technically he's not breaking the rules. If he sped up then slowed down, then yeah, that would be a penalty. But of course, he's just going through the corner and preparing for the restart. So, wow, he's absolutely crawling across. No disrespect to him, of course. It is his race, and he can do what he wants with it. Is he going to speed up coming out of the corner? He is now. There he goes. We're back underway here, as there's already shuffling, and Coleman's already come in to serve his penalty. I think you can do that, as there's battling further back. We go back to the front now. They're all training through, well, going through like a locomotive, I should say, around the second corner. And then into the chicane, the first of the chicane, the infamous chicane that Sebastian Vettel lost the race, controversially in everyone's opinion. I mean, who was the steward there? It definitely wasn't Charlie Mighting. He was gone, and there was Azam there, scrapping position of Tiago. Azam getting through into 6th place, and now he's going to try and make his run up through it. He's on the softer compound, the fresher compound of these tyres. Fresher tyres. They are 3 laps compared to 6 and 7 up ahead, so Azam does have an edge, in all honesty. But of course, will that edge last for long? And there's a further back battle. Aldes Marciano, the new kid in the block, is getting past Lifeboat, almost getting past Lorenzino, as that Yashir Saki from the back of the grid, now into the points, getting ahead of Lifeboat, who is absolutely going nowhere.
It's not been Lifeboat's day, but to be honest, the pace doesn't seem to be quite there either. Just stuck in the midfield, unable to make any progress.
And Enzo trying to squeeze into the pits, and he gets his wish, nearly coming into contact with, is that Nico and Gervano as well? So he's quite lucky not to have caused any trouble, as they're coming in again. They just can't seem to get anything. They're just really wishing and hoping that it's... oh yeah, they've got to serve the penalties. I'm so sorry, guys. I keep forgetting that they have to serve their drive-through penalties.
Azam's on the move, up the inside again, repeated what he did on the previous lap to get past Tiago. This time it's on a different blue painted car of Jesla, and now back up into the top 5 trying to recover from that poor pit stop. Now sets his sights on the McLaren of Kaya, who has been struggling a little bit in these wet conditions compared to the dry.
Well, that's Lorenzino and Tiago colliding, and he's lost the wheels, but he's got it back open again, and there's a yellow flag. That is Caracelli's off, and that's surely his race done, as there's an absolute commotion ahead of him into the hairpin, and Lorenzino sliding through, losing control, loses position to Lifeboat. Suddenly, Life is back into his race, and now Yashasaki is going to try and get ahead into 8th place as he's barged around with Marciano and Zane behind. Coming down the straight, that's a Lifeboat trying to get it past Tiago further behind. There's a dive into the inside, attempted from Yashasaki, but Lorenzino goes off the road, and surely he's going to have to concede the position as Azam is into the podium spots again.
One Mercedes tumbling backwards, the other one continues to charge forwards.
Yashasaki losing positions again. He's went back to square one. Not what he wanted. He's really struggling. Everyone is struggling whilst battling in these horrendous conditions. Is it starting to get that bad? Has Enzo pulled off the correct strategy? We don't know. Nobody knows. We're never going to know. Yashasaki on the move again, going for Gervano into 12th place. He goes, but he slid it around again, and it's back to square 0 for Yashasaki. We already said square 1, and that's it now. Azam right behind Bradley, nearly got through, didn't he?
On 4 lap fresher tyres, the Mercedes is absolutely flying, comfortably the quickest driver on the track at the minute, sat right underneath the rear wing of the Ferrari. Squabbling continuing further back. Lorenzino looking up the inside of Tiago into the hairpin of 10. Gets it all wrong though. Completely out of control. That's going to drop all the way to the back of that pack as Yasusaki's
It's
out.
another safety car. Yeah, the last place man. Going from last to first challenge. It's over. And another safety car. This is not good news for, well, anyone, because you don't know how... Oh no! Seb's going to drive through penalty! Angelo! Sorry, Angelo's got to drive through penalty. Sorry, this is horrendous. This whole race is falling apart. Let me check the race director. Incidents. Oh dear. Yeah, Tiago's also got a 5 second time penalty. That is Sam's race over for sure. He's got a drive-through penalty. I know it's a horrendous rule, but you have to stay within the delta when entering the pits. That is the rules. It's to prevent you gaining an advantage going into the pits. So, Azam is now in the lead again. Jeslar is in second, ahead of Lifebout and Nico in third and fourth. Giovanno is in fifth, ahead of Sem, Brando, and Kaya. And then Ala Marciano on the wets, going for the long game, going for the conservative option. Oh, yeah, I don't see why not. It is feeling like this is supposed to be a day in Britain, not Canada. Canada is supposed to be snowing. Or is that Nunavut? And Yukon, probably.
I don't think you're too out there. I just want to comment on Enzo though. It's been on the wet tyres twice so far. Put them on, then went back to inters, went back to wets, and now as the rain is at its heaviest, has gone back to inters.
Question mark? Question mark? Question mark. But Sem now has a drive-through penalty, and I hate to say it, but that might be the end of his chances tonight. Angelo has not caught a break all day. In all honesty, I think he already had a drive-through penalty, didn't he?
I think this might be the third one that Angelo's picked up.
Blimmin' heck!
I think he's gone under every safety car.
Is he trying to get the Guinness World Record for, or is that Esteban Ocon that holds it?
Well, he might be trying to do the old Jenson Button 6 pit stops last to first victory at Canada. We've got the reverse of the weather, though.
Yeah, here's a pub quiz question. Who won the 2009 Canadian Grand Prix?
It didn't happen.
Dang! You got me! Oh, I didn't get you.
I'm as boring as you.
Yeah, I know. That's like saying who won the 2020 Monaco Grand Prix. Again, well, that's more obvious. Who won the 2003 Belgian Grand Prix? Didn't happen because of tobacco advertising dispute. EU laws. Anyway, Finlay, I'm not going to say what you said because we don't want to get in trouble from the lovely Jess. Sam has been, let's just say, ruined. It doesn't say that, but, you know, I'm trying to help little children not learn bad words, if you know that, because you don't know who our viewers are. We don't know who the viewers are. We still see them as fans, though. So, welcome to those of you watching. I haven't actually caught track of how many people are watching, I'm afraid. I've got my eyes focused on too many things. My TV is like 90 degrees adjacent to my my Mac in my room, so personal note, probably get a TV that's closer to the Mac. Anyway, this should be the last car under safety cars, the last lap under safety car conditions. Coleman playing catch-up, as Henry Kelly of Going for Gold would say, as we come through
Angelo's
once
in.
again. Angelo's in again. I mean, is he going to wets? Yes, he's going the big blue boys. Eiffel 65's favourite tyre. Blue dabba-dee dabba-da.
This is really... I'm going to gloss over that. This is really interesting, the tyre strategies, because, I mean... It looks very, very wet, but people have come into the pits and put inters on, so is it going to dry up later? This is going to be a really interesting end to the race. I'm very, very looking forward to it. Obviously, we've got Sem, who's going to be taken out of the contention completely with that drive-through penalty. We've got a few 3-second time penalties in there as well, so the order's going to be completely scrambled over the next 10 laps.
So I'm thinking my eyes are going to be on Brando and Kyer on the fresher compounds, as well as Marciano and Lorenzino and Tiago, the likes of them too, because they're on the wetter and maybe the better compound, on all honesty. They look like they're just blazing through with much less effort than the interrunners are. Of course, this is just game mechanics, just seeing them going through, and the safety car is in this lap, so it's make or break time for the guys at the front with the inters. The Warriors come through Lapingo.
This is where we're going to see which tyre is the correct one. It is absolutely bucketing it down, and these guys on Inters may feel like they've made a little bit of a mistake with 10 laps to go. We're going to have to see who is going to be under pressure when we get going again. It'll be Azam, who has been in the wars. He's had to fight his way back through. Had incredible pace before the safety car was called. Going to have to reciprocate. Going to have to replicate that now.
Yeah, it's Tyre Wars 2, Monsoon Boogaloo. It's got civil, because it's only one tyre compound, of course. It's Pirelli. Azam has it all to do with Jeslar behind him, but on the much older intermediate. Is he going to come through and put the throttle down? Oh, he's not. There he goes. He's off. And we're back underway here with 10 laps to go as look who's coming through. Lifeboat! Where has he come from? He's literally done very few in this race. And Jeslar has made a mistake at turn 1 and loses position, and there's massive collisioning behind. That's Caracelli already falling down the order. Angelo's in the pits again. Lorenzino is in the 16th already. It's just got all collapsed for him as the leaders filter through. Lifeboat has a penalty, so Azam currently leads this race. Jeslar under pressure from Nico, who started 18th as Alan Marciano. No, the new boy has spun. And they got Lorenzino behind him.
The drivers on wet tyres seeming to be struggling quite a bit. Lorenzino and Ale Marciano falling to the back of the pack. Thiago struggling to keep up with Kaya in front. So maybe the weather looks like it'll be full wet tyres, but they're struggling to keep it on the road.
Nico's struggling to get through. You can tell it's really dangerous. He's absolutely losing it, going all over the place like a drunken line dance as he tries to keep it on the track. And now he's stuck behind Jeslar again. He's going to try and make the move on these tyres. Coming into the corner. This is dangerous. He backs off at the last moment. Coming out of the corner. And that's Brado. And that's a spin. No, it's not. It's Giovanni who saved it. Massive save. Sam comes into service drive-through. What a disappointing enters race. Lorenzino is battling through Alan Marciano, who's about to lose another position to Caracelli, who has a 5-second penalty. And he's pushed off Alan Marciano, it seems, in the first corner. Nico now chasing Jeslar again. Oh, he nearly loses it again. And this gives a chance to Giovanni to catch up. And now Lifeboat is closing up on Azam, and this might be the right time to do it. He's 1.6 seconds ahead of Jeslar.
This is a two-horse race. The two leaders flying away from everybody else as Jeslar and Nico get stuck into each other. Lifeboat, though, with that 3-second penalty, is going to have to pull quite the gap on a driver that has been very, very quick in these conditions so far.
Yes, Azam has the pole. He struggled in the pits, but he made it back up. He's made a mistake. Lifeboat gets through with perfection, and there's a bow behind him. Nico is barged through Jeslar, and Giovanni and Brando are coming through as well. Coming down the casino straight now are these gladiators in 2x2 formation. Jeslar gets through. Brando gets through. Nico is struggling as he is Giovanni to contend with in the Wall of Champions. Coming out of the Wall of Champions they do. It looks all plain sailing for the most part. And now Jeslar and Nico are going to be battling for 4th position into the first corner once again. And it's Nico has to cut the course. That's going to be a penalty without doubt. There it is, 5-second penalty for him. That might be the end of his chances now. Kaya, Giovanni and Jeslar filter through. Lifeboat's in a good spot here. He's now in net 2nd place.
Done very well, courtesy of that battling going on behind Nico. I wonder if that penalty might get removed under pressure again from the Williams of Tico. Both Williams on the wet compound tyres. It seems to be working much better than they were earlier, side by side as we come. Got to be careful of the wall there. Not a lot of space on the outside for Tico. And look who's trying to get involved. Coolman, who's been in the walls. Could be 2 overtakes for the McLaren to try and join his teammate inside the top 10. Nico continuing to fall through the field, though, down into 10th place.
He just gets 1 overtake. Where's Coolman come from? He was nowhere earlier.
He's flying at the minute, though.
Oh, and
up the inside we go.
And it's sliding in Giovanni and Tycho. Kaya just tiptoeing through as Tycho spun back behind. And now they come through once again. Is there going to be another move? Don't think there's going to be a move at the top. They're too far away from each other. Too far here as well. That's Kaya trying to look for a way through. Sticking behind.
I think the wet tyres might now be quicker. Jeslar continuing to struggle on considerably older intermediate tyres, and the McLaren surely is going to make this move down the inside into turn one. They've come to blows already in the race. Up the inside we go. This is much, much cleaner. This time Akaya gets up into fourth place. Next up is Giovanni, and then Thiago and Coolman. Is this going to be one of these guys on the wet tyres coming through to maybe get a grandstand result or a grandstand finish to what has been a crazy race?
It has been indeed. Oh no! Azam's left the session! I don't believe it! The worst time! Quick, invite him! It's only fair! Azam has lost the lead as a result! Brando is now closed up. He's going to pass Azam. Azam, unbelievable! The worst time to disconnect! And we've got a safety car!
We've got a yellow flag. It's Angelo, I think.
That might save Azam.
Only lost a couple of places, thankfully, for the Mercedes, so we'll still be in a decent position. Got some overtakes going on in the mid-pack.
Yeah, they shouldn't be doing that. Oh!
Zane's gone into the back of Thiago.
That's a penalty, surely. Surely that's a penalty. You can't do that. I think they've got away scot-free. Even though there's been a glitch or that. I do not know what... Oh, that's why. Caracelli's lost his wing. He had a 5-second penalty, but now he's played spoiler. This is going to be a great reset. Lifeboat's in. Brando's staying out. Azam's staying out.
This is not going to go well for Azam. He's going to be on the oldest tyres of everybody, 13 lap old tyres, because in goes Lifeboat and in goes Jeslar, who did have the oldest tyres. Giovanni stays out as well. Got a real mix of people coming in. What tyres are they going to be? That's going to be the real key. I think most of them are going to put the Inters on. Enzo with a penalty, though.
Sorry, I'm trying to invite Azam. I do apologise. It's only fair. Invite game. There you go. Sorry about that. Oh, and Enzo's got a penalty.
Yeah.
He's down there anyway, so it's not going to be a big factor. Let's just graze down here. Look at all these pit stops. Look at this. This guy's done 6 stops.
My word. The
7
rain
stops.
has eased off, though. The rain has really eased off, and it's only Lorenzino on the wet compound tyres. I think that is a big mistake.
Sorry, 7 stops for Coolman and Enzo.
Oh, my word.
Welcome to PSGL, ladies and gentlemen. Anything can happen. So no drive-through so far. It's just the penalty for Enzo. So Enzo has had a fair few of them tonight. But we are going to have... Oh, man. I don't think my car is ready for this. Hasn't got his invite yet. You sent an invite.
I have sent him an invite, so hopefully he does manage to get back in. Would be a disaster, though. Is still running second, and if he can rejoin before the safety car comes in, should be able to pick up the first points of the season. Azam is thankfully there, joined back in, bottom of the screen, you can just see. It's been,
thank goodness.
Yeah. It's been a difficult season for Azam.
And now Enzo's got another drive-through penalty. I'm not sure what's going on here. He's given up. Alright, that's fair enough. I'm surprised it's not been red flag. Everyone's back. They're back on Inters. Oh boy. Well, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Is Lifeboat going to take a unexpected win? Probably not, considering he's got a penalty, but you never know. All bets are probably off the table at this rate.
I wonder whether coming in was the right decision for Lifeboat. Obviously, we'll have much fresher tyres, but that is a lot of overtaking you've got to do on a track where overtaking is not the easiest thing to do. And when you add in the weather, I think this could be a little bit tricky for Lifeboat. It probably would have been smart to stay out in the lead, try and build a gap with that 3-second penalty looming over his head, and then just, hope and pray that managed to pull a decent gap over the majority of the field. This way, he's going to have to overtake and then pull a gap. I just can't see it happening.
Is the safety car coming in this lap? We don't know yet. Safety car still out there this lap. The Mercedes safety car in red, funnily enough, like our leading car, the Ferrari. Safety car in this lap. And Enzo is rejoined, but he's still out of the race, funnily enough. I think he's wanting to watch on to this epicness and unfolds. So it will be Brando ahead of Azam. Oh, he nearly hits him! He nearly hits him! Coming out, and now is Brando going to get away? It's safety car again? What? That can't be right. I don't think that could be right.
We are underway.
Yeah, we are underway. It's not. It's gone now. Here we go. Caio and Azam into the corner. And Angelo's lost. They're in the outside already.
Yes, Angelo crashing through the final corner. Massive cluster of cars going through turns 1 and 2. Though Caio up into second place. Azam dropping down to third. Lifebound makes up a couple of places. Lorenzino is the big cork in the bottle on the wrong compound of tyres. Zane's up into the fifth place with Giovanni pushing Azam around the Mercedes, struggling on the restart. Both these cars, there's contact. Azam into the back of Caio. Neither driver had points so far this season as Lifebound is caught up with the Sauber behind them. Chaos in turn number 6 and 7.
Anarchy, utter anarchy in Montreal, but that's not surprising being Canada. Here comes Zane and Azam and Jesler all fighting, scrapping. Everything is completely gone, thrown out the window. It is all no holds barred here in Montreal. Marciano going up at the inside on Lorenzino. Tiago has spun. And the outside, no one is safe from the dreadful Montreal weather and the crazy racing here. Ian's left the session. He was already in the race anyways. Brando's got a mammoth lead to take his second win of the season. It is an absolute mammoth lead. He gets a 3-second penalty as Azam has got a 3-second penalty. He's down in fifth and struggling. Giovanni trying to hold off.
Azam with half a front wing and jumped over the escape road. Sem, who's trying to recover from that drive-through earlier on. Coolman, who's been in the walls as well, trying to get up into 5th and 6th. Adam, you would imagine, is going to tumble here. Giovanni, as Angelo is out of the session in the pit. We aren't going to get a safety car. It's too late in the session. Of course, the battle is now for 2nd, 3rd and 4th between Giovanni, Zane and Jeslar.
And Zane is right up close to Giovanni. This could be a move.
Contact, Coleman and Azam. It's gone wrong again. They make contact going through turn 7. Side spun. Coleman coming off with a bit of damage. Azam's towards the back of the pack.
5 wide.
Further forward, Giovanni and Zane. Is carnage going on everywhere. It's going to be 3 wide down into the hairpin.
And through goes Jeslar, perhaps into the hairpin. He's hit Giovanni and he's staying behind. Anarchy and utter chaos and annihilation. I've lost all description, all words to describe this, all word association lost. Giovanni now right behind Zane. Here comes Jeslar. Jeslar can't find a gap, can't find an opening. Brando is running away.
4.5 seconds, managed to steer clear of all of the carnage going on behind them. Giovanni's tyres must be absolutely dead as we go on to the penultimate lap, struggling to hold on to this final spot on the podium as Zane has already come through. The 2 Alpines will now cruise up to the back of the AlphaTauri, as will the senior car, the second senior car of Ale Marciano. Having a look up the inside is Jesler. That would be a very ambitious position to make an overtake. Sits behind for the time being. Got to get a move on though with his teammate and the rest closing up behind. Tico is a little bit further back with Caracelli and then Nico behind. The 2 McLarens is a massive moment for Coolman as Jesler is going through though, through into 3rd place. Giovanni struggling on the exit, going to lose out to the other Alpine maybe.
And here comes Sam right in the back of Giovanni. He can't make the move. The 2 Alpines bidding to get through as TRT is 1 and 2. 4.4 second lead for Brando. He can't seem to be stopped. And here comes Sam on the inside, who thought his race was over. Oh no, it's not.
Off.
Caracelli's off again. We can't go to that. There's too much happening ahead. There he goes. He's lost his wing again. Zane is going to lose the position to Jesler. Jesler is on the pace of his life, but is he too far behind to get into the wake of Brando as Giovanni's got a penalty as the final lap is on?
Giovanni's collapsing, tyres are gone, penalty to boot as well, dropping down to 6th. Will probably lose a couple more places courtesy of that penalty. The 2 McLarens, remember when they were in 2nd and 3rd, now barely inside the points. It was quite a dramatic moment for Caracelli. Went spinning down into the hairpin, no front wing, and almost collected his teammate as well. Out in front, Jesler is catching Brando, but not enough time left, of course.
Brando, probably a disappointing qualifying session. He started P7. He's now leading by 4 seconds. That gap is coming down, but I fear it may be too late for Jesler to strike. Zane has done fantastically well to come from 16th to 3rd. Sem has kept position, and then considering, oh no, he's got a penalty! Commentator's curse! Sem is going to get a podium! What an incredible rollercoaster ride of the day for him! It's just been all the emotions imaginable as
Azam's in the wall.
Azam is in the wall. He was out of the race anyway. That's a nasty accident. But we must cut to the front of the field. Here's Brandel in the championship lead. Is now going to extend it even further with a sublime drive in the changing conditions. Brandel wins in Canada. Jesler is going to come home in second place. With that penalty, Zane is going to lose out because Sem is going to get a podium. It's a double podium for Alpine. Alain Marciano on his debut finishes in P4 as the penalties keep on coming down, relegating these drivers. Lorenzino is going to finish in last place, and it is a disappointing end for Azam, but it is a glorious day for Brandel. His lead just gets bigger and better. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And remember who said Sem was in trouble? Well, he's not now. He's on the podium.
I have to be honest, that was not the cleanest final few laps I have ever seen in my life. Chaos, as we had some people on older tyres, some people on fresher tyres, and they seem to be magnetised to each other. But it is Brando that takes it from the two Alpines. All three of them had to overcome their various issues, doing exceptionally well to get on the podium. The two Red Bulls, what a haul of points for those guys. Alain Marciano on debut with 4 stops, ending up in 4th place. Zane, brilliant recovery from 16th on the grid. Tico picks up a very, very handy haul of points for the Williams team ahead of Giovanni. The two McLarens, at one point it was looking so good for them. 2nd and 3rd on the grid, end up 8th and 9th. Not all down to their own doing. They were caught up in other people's incidents. And it's a double points finish as well for Williams, with Thiago completing our top 10. Only 13 finishes with Nico Lifebout and Lorenzino right at the end. Lot of retirements to speak of as well.
2 wins in a row for Ferrari, 3 wins in 4 for Ferrari. They seem unstoppable right now. They get another win under the belt. Disappointing for Angelo, of course, but we can't forget Brandel. His sublime showing has now gifted them another 16 valuable points in this championship, and that will put him at 53 provisionally. Jesler is going to take, I think he's going to take 2nd place in the championship now, 33 points. Impressive showing. Sem is going to go up to 29, which will put him ahead of Angelo, and that will take him to 4th place.
This has been absolute carnage from start to finish. The weather, the overtaking, the crashes. I mean, I just can't believe what we've seen. It was fairly reminiscent of Monaco, I have to say, especially towards the end. But this was a different kind of performance from Brando. You have to be honest. This one almost sort of fell into his lap, to be honest, and with other people's various misdemeanors, it was the Ferrari that came home to win it. But you've got to stay out of trouble, and you've got to be there to do it. And the championship leader did that perfectly.
Yes, indeed, absolutely. This is just, I've just put an emoji of Schumacher walking over to David Coulthard, because that's probably what the race was like all night. It was just chaos in the rain. It's it's madness. Jesler saying, "Thank you for the good sportsmanship, bro." I'm just trying to read through the comments here. It's mental. It's all kicking off here in general.
The two biggest questions are, next week when we come back, how much will the order have changed? Because I think there could be quite a few post-race penalties. And how many of these drivers will actually still be here next week?
Yeah, Azam's on 0 again.
Azam is I think he's been in the podium fight every single race and has just been caught up in other people's incidents. You've got to feel for Azam. The pace is consistently very, very strong. I think he's got a couple of pole positions as well. Got pole today, of course, but unable to find any luck at all.
Absolutely. So that takes us on that bombshell, it takes us to next week, which I believe is the southern coast of France.
Yes, it is. Paul Ricard, obviously not on the calendar in real life anymore. Wasn't the most exciting in real life, but I think in the game it does tend to work quite well. I'm enjoying some of the comments from people saying that it was like a GTA 5 open lobby right at the end. I'd probably agree with that.
Yeah, it was a GTA 5 open lobby, or one of those demolition derbies.
Yes.
It was absolutely madness.
We'll end it off there, though.
Yeah, I think we should. I'm getting quite tired, in all honesty. How about you?
Yeah, it's quite a got a slightly sore voice after it. But thank you everybody for watching. It was certainly action packed, and there were definitely some talking points that will probably be debated long into the night. Remember to check out the sponsors, as we've said before, GT Omega, using that code PSGL. Get yourself 5% discount at checkout. A lot of brilliant stuff you can get your hands on. And the same for SRC Sim Racing Centre, same code. You'll get 10% off their services.
Yes, absolutely. Go check them out. What an incredibly insane race today. I didn't think it was going to be this insane, but there you go. It's just been one of those nights again on PSGL, and more of the same next week in the south of France, Paul Ricard Circuit, La Castellette, at 8 p.m. the 25th of March. You'd be sure not to miss it. I've been Attacker Logan. He's been teed up on another night for Brando, where he extends his championship lead even further. It seems like he's going to be the one to catch for the rest of the season. And just go and make sure you check out those deals from our sponsors, of course, Sim Racing Centre and GT Omega. Get those lovely discounts as you can. Until then, I thank you all for watching. Thank you all the drivers for competing. And with that, I wish you a very good night.